What's good, y'all? It's Mills. Welcome back to another episode of Black and Unpacked. What's poppin'?
CK here. CK here. We in this thing. We
Yeah,
doing
we
it.
locked in. We locked in. We here. How you feeling, good brother?
Doing good. It's great to be here with you, recording another episode.
Hey, you already
And
know.
then just so we can chat, because like with the work day, the everyday to day, like this is like really like our space that we can just kick the shit.
Hey, you know we here. I mean, you see I got my Ravens gear on, so
Sir, Flock Nation.
you know what I'm saying? We're gonna see how they pissing us off this year, you know what I'm saying? But
Man.
we're gonna see how it goes, man. We trying to lock in. I mean, hopefully, we make the playoffs. If we don't, then it is what it is. But hey, it's about to be an ugly off season though for us.
Hey.
So hey, you know what?
Hey.
Speaking of, since we're here for mental health, my mental health has been affected. My
Yeah.
psyche. I'm
I
a
was just about to
broken
ask that.
Ravens fan, bro.
I was just about to, I was about to say the same thing.
I'm
Man.
broken.
It's wild how like what fandom can do to you as a, like
Yeah.
with a sport, being a sports fan. And I think only sports fan would like understand the impacts of watching your team just with the ups and downs, because in a way it's a relationship.
Yep.
It's a one-sided relationship because they have no idea who I am.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
I'm in a
And they don't
relationship
care.
with them.
They don't care, but I'd be so invested, bro. Like I've never been in. You know how they always say, low IQ if you invested in celebrities and all that. 'Cause they don't know you, bro. That's how I
Yeah.
feel, bro. I be invested in this and be getting upset. Like literally, after losses, especially close losses, bro, I just sit in silence. There's nothing to talk about. My homies will call me to slander me and all that, and I just
Yeah.
gotta take the L, bro. I just gotta take the L.
Bro, man. And that, like, for me, being like, so as you know, I'm in South Carolina now.
Yeah.
But being from Kansas City and not being a Chiefs fan, every time we play the Chiefs, my phone gets blown up.
Hey. Speaking of that, y'all moving to Kansas. Well, not y'all, but they moving to Kansas though.
It's only 30 minutes across the state line.
Oh, for real? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like Kansas City, there's a Kansas City, Missouri, and a
Mhm.
Kansas City, Kansas, and there's literally a road called State Line Road that you walk across the street and you're in the other state.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
even like I don't know where at this, like in Kansas, they're gonna move the stadium too, but I can understand like how fans can be like upset, especially like if you're from the Missouri side.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like a lot of people, I'm assuming people do know, but I'm also assuming some people don't know that none of the New York teams
Yeah.
stadium
they're not-
is in New
yeah,
York.
They all play in Jersey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just tough, man, because Arrowhead, bro, like that's a
Hey, that's a
that's
stadium.
a heavyweight stadium right there.
That's a
bro.
stadium. That's an experience. I love like going to games in that stadium.
Yeah, Arrowhead is tough, bro. But
I think it's the Hunt family who are the owners of the Chiefs, and I think they want to own their actual like stadium,
okay,
and so I think that's like the move. And then since the weather can be wild in the Midwest, they want it covered too.
okay,
So
like an indoor joint.
yeah, I think it's gonna be a similar style to how it is in Minnesota, like how their stadium
Yeah,
is.
I went to our game in Minnesota. Minnesota, yo, U.S. Bank Stadium, yo, it's crazy in there. It's crazy. I sent you a couple of
yeah,
videos.
you did,
I
you
sent
did.
you that joint. It's crazy in that joint, but yeah, bro. Hey, we locked in.
Yeah,
You know
we
what
in
I'm
there.
saying? I'm about to improve my mental health on this episode. I got my Ravens gear. I got to support. Shout out to Lamar Jackson. Lamar, if you watching this, baby, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I love you. Please, give
It's
me
the
a
promised
ring.
land.
Please, give me a ring. I'm desperate, bro. What do you want? What do you want, bro?
Oh man. Also, before like we get started, I just wanted to like share that my disclaimer. I'm gonna probably say this every single episode.
Yeah,
so
please say it. Please.
y'all gonna get annoyed by me, but This is to protect us.
Yeah.
And so like all information like on this platform is strictly for educational and entertainment purposes. It is not to be treated as a replacement for treatment and or therapeutic advice. Please seek actual providers providing that services if you're in need. And you're gonna hear me say that every single episode because we got licenses to protect.
Yes, that is true. All right, listen, don't come for me. All right, I'm just here offering perspective. Okay, I'm just a regular guy, just offering perspective with a little bit of little knowledge that I'm sharing. Okay, this is no different than a barbershop talk. That's it. So here we are. Let's get it popping.
Let's do
What's on
it.
your mind, brother?
So something that I like want to talk about today, we mentioned it a little bit in the first episode, is sort of like the accessibility to like mental health, like knowledge, resources, and care. I like recall you like talking about like how like we didn't like, since it was not necessarily like created for us, like we didn't have that education to even seek out that knowledge and to seek out that resources. And so I just wanted to talk about like accessibility because that's one thing that a topic that I think I am like really like passionate about for like mental health care in general, but specifically when it's like talking about like our community. Because historically, like accessibility has now with technology now, and as time progresses, it's becoming more accessible. But historically, that has not always been the case.
Yeah.
I'm just like recalling, even though like I would say like go as recent as college of like seeking or being able to seek any sort of like therapy or counseling services. Like I had nowhere to go, or did not, I wouldn't say I had nowhere to go, but I just didn't know where to go. I remember like talking to some of my psychology professors, and this was like before like I was even a psychology major. I was like, do you have anywhere that you can point me out to? Because I used to have a huge like germ anxiety. Like I would always be washing my hands. Public restrooms freaking terrified me, and so I was just like,
They still do.
yeah, same, but like like it was just like to the point where it would be like last thing I would like go to my dorm before I would like go to like the restroom in the hall, like that's in wherever those buildings call, where they call lecture halls or whatever. And so I was like, no idea where any of those like resources like could be. And so like I graduated undergrad 2014, and so even 11 years ago, that knowledge of where to find these resources, like now looking back, was limited for me. Where I'm asking like a professor who's probably has nothing to do. It was like Psych 1 too, so who knows what he like, how, like I don't even know if he was a PhD, like a bachelor's, just like one of those adjunct professor type things, but
Yeah.
just like showing the limited, or not even limited, but like the lack of information that I had like in my experience.
Yeah. I mean, I think some things echo the same in my own experience. Um, I think it's a combination of things here. Historically, information and resource, and I believe, I touched on this like a little bit in earlier conversations, but it wasn't for us. Mental health wasn't, geared towards people of color, minorities and such like that. The research, the tests and stuff like that, it was very, rare, or sparingly, where we were brought in to even, participate or have a, opinion on certain things. Over time, that has improved, but, historically, that wasn't the case. Not even from your own skin color, but also, like we spoke on gender too. It was more from the Eurocentric, male dominated perspective. I also think that it has changed in a way of accessibility, because I believe that, and this is just across all cultures, in like mental health was not taken as seriously as it is now. Not just within our own community, but also, with other ethnicities and community as well. I think we all kind of rallied around and seen the seriousness. Also looking as we, gotten older and experienced different things, we also see what the world is and what the reality is and what life is throwing at us. And we realize that we're human and we do need viable outlets to change our behavior, to, proactively adjust our psyche and such like that. So we talk about accessibility, and I'm more so just speaking from our own community and culture. You made a good point. I don't know if it was necessarily, earlier in what you said, but you had said pretty much everybody has access to technology in some way, shape, or form, and having access to the technology, knowing where the information is, knowing how to seek out the information, that's one edge of the sword. But the other piece is, though, once you have that information, you have to go do it yourself. You have to take that step forward. Now, there's a lot of roadblocks in that process of taking that first step towards in that journey. There's a lot of stigmas within culture, family, society, and things like that. Judgments, shame. Hell, us as black men, it's considered weak for us to even ask for help. To rely on someone other than yourself. Yeah, you might bust it up with your homies or something like that. Maybe might talk to your pop, or maybe might talk to your parents or a sibling. But for the most part, at the end of the day, it's still on you to figure it out. It's ball up top mentality, and it's just like, yo, shut up and go make that money. Yo, go figure it out. We handle mental health historically, and even now here today, we are the culture. We now, when I say this, we are so much more than this, but we glorify, quote unquote, the life. Sex, drugs, and cash, sports, and entertainment. When we handle our problems, you're going to handle it through sex, drugs, and cash 9 times out of 10, unless you are proactively, working on yourself to find other outlets. But we as the culture, we don't glorify seeking therapy. A lot of times when we in therapy, and I ask my clients this all the time, especially on the intake session, I was like, have you ever done therapy before? A lot of times they'd be like, nah. Or they'd be like, yeah, I did do it. It was either court mandated or, yeah, my girl dragged me in that joint. My girl, I did couples therapy.
It wasn't an active choice.
Yeah, it wasn't an active choice. It was reactive, not proactive. Yeah. And at the end of the day, I don't put too much onus on how you got here. The fact is, you here. Let's do what we got to do. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to shame you. But like I said, when it comes to accessibility, it was always there, because a lot of people be like, yeah, I never thought I needed it. I'll just figure it out myself. I knew about it, but I just never did it for myself until now. And I tell them, look, a lot of people think too, and a lot of black men, when I work with them, they be like, yeah, man, like, I wish I did this sooner. I came too late. I came too late to therapy, or I'm behind the 8 ball. And I tell them, that right there is the program indoctrination psyche. Like, bro, you ain't never too late. You right on time. Exactly. You wasn't ready for that earlier. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't ready. God ain't put you there. Here you are now. God don't make mistakes, and here you are now. You on his time. You right on time when you needed it. And here you are to open up. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a lot of, as the accessibility grows, there's also, we have to couple that growth with also taking our own support and initiative within ourselves and community. We have to not only just, hey, call this number, these are the services and all that. Bro, it's shame. People be like, oh, well, if you're suicidal, call this hotline. Bro, don't nobody want to admit that they're suicidal.
Exactly.
I mean, quite frankly, people get tired of saying they're tired of talking about it. So to get on there with someone, we'll call the hotline, this will help you. And yes, those resources are important. Don't get me wrong, but it's at the end of the day, sometimes people don't have the supportive bubble, the village, since we're going to use the word community. People don't have the village or the community to support this struggling person. With that same struggling person, it's so easy to be like, oh, well, come to me for help. If you need to talk. But bro, we are indoctrinated to keep our mouths shut and figure it out. Until something happens, then it's like, oh my God, wait, what? The signs were there, the signs. And sometimes people do try to talk to us. They may not have the exact words. They may feel shame, judgment. They're scared to open up. And we sit here and joke about it. Prime example, bro, I use one of the easiest examples. Now, I don't agree with him all the time on everything, but he does make a lot of good points when it comes to the psychology or whatever of our people, and that's Dr. Umar. Bro, when you think of Dr. Umar, first thing you think of is a black man with a white woman, bro. That's the first thing you think of. Like, you don't think of nothing. All that other stuff he be talking about, pro-black, all this, African panism and all that, like, that's all secondary. And we joke about it, though. We joke about these things, bro. We don't take this shit seriously. And it's like, he's giving access. Like I said, I don't agree with everything the man said, and that's anybody.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, there's a lot of what he's saying, though, from an accessibility and mental health standpoint, the psychology of the mind and stuff, especially the black mind, that he do be spitting some facts. But we don't, yeah. All right. Oh, okay, nigga. All right. Like, and I just say all that to say, man, like, it has to be a balance. The accessibility has to be there and can't be gate-kept away. But you have to take that step, and you have to do it with support. Can't do it on your own, because no one can do this life alone, So, yeah.
And I'm going to pick back up on that aspect for like the shank part. I want to say not. This may be more towards like black men, but as far as like using it as jokes, it's like, so they use it to like demasculate like each other, and like this dude crying over this relationship, this lady, like, and like, and those sort of reactions, and it's like when one like is just trying to like express, I'm going through some shit, and now like you turn around, like just brushing it off, making a joke of it. That like that teaches us something. Like, okay, it's like, so now like I know I just learned that I can't come out with like my problems. I gotta hold this within, because if I'm sharing this, it's not going to be received. I'm going to be mocked. It's it says that I'm no longer a man. I'm soft. I'm hard. I'm not hard. It's all of these messages that we're taking in when we're just trying to express ourselves.
Yeah. You hit the nail right on the head. And it's funny, as you were talking, you brought up a point where we express our vulnerability, we expose ourselves, we open ourselves up, because that's a form of trust, that's a form of rapport, and damn near loyalty to a certain extent. And when we open up to our community or family or friends or significant others, whoever it may be, and when it is met with resistance, and I'm not saying aggression all the time, but when it's not met with a safe reciprocation of space and non-judgment as best as possible. We're human. We'll have our judgments. We'll have our commentary. But when it's met in a way that it is not, that it doesn't make that other person feel safe and secure, that's where the shutdown comes from. And ultimately, too, if that person is opening up, about, something that the other person that who's on the listening end has done or said to make them feel away, we really shut that down because people aren't even open to constructive criticism. People don't want to take accountability. That's really what we're talking about. Accountability. It's accessibility on one end, but it's accountability on the other end. And even from a deeper perspective, like, I've seen a quote, and this was a while back. I don't know who it was, but I think I've seen it somewhere on social media. And it was facts. And it basically said that those who really truly do need to get their behinds in therapy, who do need therapy, they dodge. They don't show up. But their victims do.
Yeah, I think I've seen something like that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I was like, damn. That's facts.
Yeah.
So those who really need to do the work, they avoid it. They don't, no. For whatever reason. But all the damage, all of the hurt, all of the residual effects, you leave a path of destruction. And then, a lot of times, it's the victims coming into the space. And the victims have been, I don't like to use the words broken, because the fact that someone has even landed in therapy means that you ain't broken. They tried to break you. They tried to destroy you, but they ain't break you, because you're here. Now, granted, they might have, chipped a couple pieces off a little bit and something like that, but you ain't totally broken. You may feel like that, but we got to deal with the facts, not the feelings. And the fact is, you're here to not only put yourself back together, per se, but lift and rise up above who you used to be. You know what I'm saying? Because who you used to be allowed all that nonsense. Whether even with your own self-worth. Because no one, at least in my philosophy, no one stays in situations just for the fun of it. It is something about their own selves that maybe it's lack of self-worth, maybe they feel inadequate, maybe it's a void, that this, maybe they justify or convince themselves that this other person will give them what they need to overcompensate that hole in them, in their soul. But ultimately, like I mentioned in the earlier conversation, ain't nobody coming to save you. You are not responsible for no one else's healing journey, just like no one is responsible for your healing journey. So, I mean, that's where it comes with the accountability. But a lot of people don't like to be seen. They don't want to be vulnerable. They don't want to be exposed. And nobody does. Let alone on top of being exposed, but then you also have to seek a possible perspective or solution that is different from your entire mindset. That is very difficult for people to accept, especially us as black men. Women too, because the running joke is, which really ain't a joke, women do struggle with accountability. But I'm not here to be on no, sexist rant. No, we're not doing that. But I'm just saying, accountability on both sides, But, that's the running joke. But I think, we just need to be better as a community, bro. It's a total full circle balance,
And, like, that vulnerable piece, and then is something that just like historically, like we were not allowed to like show as a community. I think of slave days, whereas if we showed that reaction,
oh yeah,
like
you're getting cooked.
We had consequences that followed, and so we were like taught to be like stoned, for like a better word, just to survive. And I think that is something that's just in our blood, in our DNA, something that generational information that's like in our code that sometimes creates like more complications than solutions when it comes to like healing and mental health, to just like sum it up under an umbrella.
Yeah. I definitely like how you took it back. That is the same mentality that we were forced to adopt to where we could not express ourselves. Because, like you said, you could lose your life over expressing yourself. And that is still true today. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to your point, it creates more problems than solutions. When you pen up all that frustration, when you pen up all that anger, when you have this conditioning to bottle things up, we forget the fact that we're human, and there's only everybody has a breaking point. And when you explode, you not only explode on others, but you explode on yourself. And sometimes, in a lot of situations, it can create dangerous situations. It can, because you're on survival mode. And also, ultimately, too, going back even to the slavery days and mentality and era, like, it was the band of community, but it was also the realization that no one is coming to save you. Yeah, there may be little flashes or whatever, trying to, uprise, uplift, escape and stuff like that. But it was the acceptance of community, because we only got ourselves. Ain't nobody gonna have us, we got ourselves. And ultimately, even that mentality has dissipated over time. It's still entrenched and ingrained. But even the black unity, the black community of unity, when it comes to things that cause it to challenge us to rise and be uncomfortable, it's not as unified as maybe it once was. But ultimately, like I said, that also has come from that indoctrination and conditioning as well, from generations before us and stuff like that. So how we go about it, I don't know. I don't have the answer, but I know you do. So what's the answer, brother?
So the answer is create Wakanda. And
yeah, money, bro. You know what I'm saying? We can't even listen, bro. That's a whole other topic, bro. We can't even do spot, bro.
Man, yeah, but yeah, the thing is, like, I think the answer, like, to that is shoot, I don't even know. I'm just talking right now, just rambling while I'm trying to come up with something. But I think that's an answer that, like, we have to, like, uncover, like, as a community, like, and commit, like, to that growth and that, like, evolution, like, of our people.
Mm-hmm.
And we will get there. When I can't predict the future, though, but seeing just in different, like, facets of, like, whether it's in education, whether it's in mental health, whether it's in any other industry, I do see more of that unity, like, coming, whereas I am, like, where it's shift from, like, I'm on my own, and if I might have enough room, I'll like let down the rope.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm saying, like, okay, like, I can lift others up, like, using, like, my platform. So it's not just me up top with everyone else that don't look like me, but it's others as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because even, like, when we're elevated up top with the other shades of the rainbow, it's still us.
Yeah.
We still have the same mentality as, like, I only can trust me, and so, but I've seen that, like, change just, like, in industries, like, over the time. But one of, like, the industries, like, I see happen is sort of what we're doing now, like, just, like, content creations. I see, like, a lot of, like, Black content creators, like, using their platform to elevate others. And it's like, well, all that being said, it's small steps, but they're steps, though.
Yeah. I mean, you got to take that first step. You got to put yourself out there proactively. That's what it is, I think. And even you brought up about, it's changing in different industries, and as you was talking, I was thinking, like, how is it, being, what is your experience for you personally being Black in the workspace? Not even Black in the workspace, but a Black man educated black man in the workspace. You know what I'm saying? In a predominantly non-black man profession. You know what I'm saying? I'm interested to hear about, your own experience, how it was for you, black man, being, not only black but a black male therapist in a non-predominant black male therapist world and profession. How was it for you, bro? How is it currently? How do you like it? Is it what you thought it was? Is it better? Is it worse? What is it?
All of the above. So, like, starting at, like, I think of, like, my first experience, like, in the mental health space. Before I was, like, a licensed clinician, like, I was, like, I think there are different titles in different, like, treatment centers, but basically, like, the mental health tech, like, so the, like, floor, like, so staffing on the floor, taking control of the milieu. And so that was like my first like introduction into the mental health workspace, and that was a very different space from being a provider, because everyone looked like me. That was on that level, like that on that entry like level of like that mental health tech, and like running the floors, and I mentioned that because it was like different when I became on the professional side of it. Where that's where one of my former colleagues like used the term like straight up like unicorn in the space, because I was one of one. And so like that was like interesting in a way, especially like working in mental health, where I was surrounded by people who had the same skin tone to me, from going to a more professional role where I was the only one, or if there was another one, it'll be just two of us out of like 20 plus like people who was like in the building. And so that was like being in America, like being in grad school, I was used to that. So I was like, I was used to being one of two or one of one black man in this space. And honestly, like I enjoyed it because I'm like, shoot, like I'm unique. I'm like, I'm not like anyone else.
It do gas you up a little bit.
Though there is that like lacking of community, or just, I won't even say like community, but of like a shared experience, even though like we don't have identical experiences, but I feel like there's just a common denominator that like all black people have like within their experience, whether that's, which I'll call spade a spade, is some form of oppression. And so like just not having that there was like interesting, because there was like some things that I did not feel comfortable of like talking about to my non-black like colleagues, and some of them were just like minor, like such as just like things that like my white patients would say that if I wasn't there, like hearing them like talk to me like a black person, I'm like, well, what are you saying that when I'm not around, and like and just like having like that sort of stuff, and to like talk to like, can you believe my client just said this shit? Or having a client like wear a hat with this huge Confederate flag on it, and not having like that like form of community of like talking about like that sort of like experience, or being able to talk about that experience and have them understand a similar point of view than I have, versus like, I can't speak for none of my white colleagues, they're amazing, but they could have been like saying like, oh, that is awful, but not really like get it, if you know what I like. If you get what I'm saying. And so that was my experience, like my earlier jobs, and then moving, and then like as I progressed in my career, where like working in like more of like the instead of like the agency, more in like a private practice setting, where
Mhm.
I was the only Black person and I was the only man. And so
Yeah.
I like had that double minority like
Yeah.
component,
Yeah.
and so private practices are weird as like if you have like worked in a group practice where there's really not that much interaction with anybody
Mhm.
anyways,
Yeah.
but then like just like not having that like that shit person that has like a similar experience to just like have conversations when just about like when crazy political shit happen or crazy like family things that's going on that might be like unique to a melanated family.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And then outside of the workspace, going to like professional development events like conference, that's where it was really
Yeah.
interesting. I went to one like right, it was like year maybe one or two being licensed, where I was the only Black man out of thousands of people,
Sheesh.
which is wild. I'm like,
Yeah. It's common, but it's wild. Yeah.
it is wild, but I use that to my advantage because since I was the only one, like I said, that unicorn status.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And this was
Yeah.
me like trying to like land me a better job. So I'm
You
like,
almost, you
you
almost feel like
know,
a damn celebrity for real. For real. Yeah.
yeah,
Like. Yeah.
yeah, I'm
I
like, so
definitely.
you know,
Yeah.
hey, you want me to work for your company because there's no one else like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you want a unicorn
They
in your
just trying to recruit
workforce.
you on the damn the quota, bro. They just need to reach the black. Oh yeah, we're diverse. We hired a black. Yeah, okay, all right, yeah.
So I think we were joking about this, like say like at where we used to work together at.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna name companies
yeah,
where
yeah, yeah,
like they'll have our images
yeah, yeah, yeah.
on the website. I was like, man, they just try to show diversity.
Yeah. Nah, yo, yeah, man, it's dope, man. Hey, listen, man, the company we met at, man, it's a dope company, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's good people over there. It's so funny. It's funny though. Everything you pretty much said aligns for me. I think going a little deeper on my experience is like I, I always felt like the unicorn status. I had that same rhetoric and definition given to me as well. And I've had Black women tell me that. You know what I'm saying? But also as well, on one end it do gas you up and it do feel good because you do feel unique and like we all want to be different. We don't want to be sheep. You know what I'm saying? Like we all want to be like, like it's that it feed that pride and ego. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm here. You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side though, and I think I'm just speaking just for myself, we're a lot of Black men, but just Black folks in general, like it might resonate with them, watching like I felt that on one end of the unicorn status, but I also felt the weight and the pressure of being the unicorn and having that status. Being just Black in many workplaces, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially in, this capitalistic corporate, America, like, it's like, yo, in order for us to just get on the same field, we got to work 2, 3, 4, 5 times harder. We have to position strategically, essentially, we have to be playing chess. And damn near it's a survival tactic, whereas everyone else may be playing checkers. And if they are playing chess, we need to master the game over anyone else. It's like we have to constantly have a leg up and one up. And I felt like that. I never felt like I was superior or I was better than anyone, but I knew in my own self-confidence, Like, yeah, how I am on the outside. Like, prime example. I got my Ravens jersey on, my Ravens hat or whatever. Like, bro, I show up like this to my sessions. I'm not rocking no freaking suit and tie, bro. Like, I'm not. That's not me. Not to say that I can't switch it up and put myself in a suit and tie, but it's like, yo, I have felt throughout my journey, similar to earlier conversations, of fitting this mold. I am limited in who I am. My personality, this is me. This is how I show up with my clients. Like, I'ma do me. I tell my clients all the time, I don't got all the answers, nor do I want to have all the answers. I'm always going to challenge, but I'm going to challenge respectfully, but I'm going to keep it 100 with you, because you need the authenticity. I'm not going to butter you up. Every therapist, shout out to all the therapists around the world. No disrespect to you, that's cool. But quite frankly, I don't care. Every therapist has their style. Clients have to seek therapists that fit their style. Everybody don't want the authentic black man. Some people don't want the in-your-face confrontation. Hey, look, challenging. Some people want the soft. Some people just want to go be told, okay, yes, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Some people don't even want to hear from a therapist. They just want to vent. Whatever it is, whatever floats your boat, that's your business. But I say all that to say, coming back, like, I felt like I was forced to fit into a certain box coming up in my profession and my career. And whether it was intentional from employers and supervisors and such, or whether it was just a subconscious thing, like, I would challenge, I would speak out on certain things, of course, respectfully, but I'm just not one to just be going with the same old, just because they told me to. I'm gonna ask why. Explain to me why. This doesn't. No, great idea. I'm glad that you took the time to think about it, but this don't make sense to me. Why do I have to do it? And then when you speak out, oh, angry black man. Oh, hold up. Oh, he getting rowdy. And now you ain't the nice little soft unicorn grazing in the field. Now you the wild horse. Now you different. Now you, instead of becoming that, now you a target. And I'm not saying, and I'm not getting on anybody, maybe I was targeted, maybe I wasn't in my whole career experience, whatever it is. Fact is, I'm here. I'm not going back in the past, but what I'm saying is, though, this is the reality for a lot of us, especially black male clinicians, but just black people in general. We become targets in these spaces. We go in and out. I'm here for the check. I'm here to get out. Like, yes, we do create camaraderie amongst our coworkers, but even then it's kept to a certain distance unless you're black. Now, we recognize, I ain't going front. Prime example, the place we used to work at, how we met. I remember I was already there. You hit me up on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You hit me up, and I'm like, at first I'm like, bro, I don't even be on LinkedIn, but it said, said your name. I'm like, hell, hit me up, like. And then when you hit, and then when I seen you, oh, he black. Oh, he want to come. I was like, yo, I gotta tell him every single thing. Yo, come on, please, because I'm gonna be honest. Like, between us two, and then our supervisor, our director at the time. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Reggie. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna give full names.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Boss man, you know what it is. It's all love. But I'm gonna be honest. That was the first time in my entire life that I seen in the clinician world that I seen a black man in a position of power and leadership in a director.
Same.
I'm gonna be honest, and I ain't gonna front. When I first, I didn't meet him till after I already got hired, but I ain't going front. When I first seen him, because it's just like the thing how I just approach, any professional setting. And I always think about my mom. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. Just because you black, you don't mean you necessarily down, with one of us. You ain't necessarily cool, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, all right, let me see what he about. Because I'm thinking like, yo, he a black man? Educated black man. I'm like, yo, what did he do to get to this position? Who did he sell out? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be honest, bro.
But valid questions, though. Valid questions.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a real joint. Now, I'm thinking, and when I got to talk to him, knowing, boom, like this, bro, I was like, yo, I found one of us in this joint, like, and then when I seen you, I'm like, bet. I'm like, yo, come on. I'm slacking all the black folk. Yo, come on, where y'all at? Where y'all live at? Come on, man. So I just say it was just that level of camaraderie.
Yeah.
Not to say that our non-black coworkers and folk like ain't got nothing against them. Like they cool too. But the fact is though, let's keep it 100. You vibe more with your own community. Whether you're white and white, whether you're black and black, whether you're, brown and brown, purple and purple, it don't matter. You resonate more with those who look like you, right off the bat. People don't want to accept that. It doesn't mean that you're judgy or racist or anything like that. That's just what it is. It's camaraderie. That's what you look like.
And then I'm gonna take that and even break it outside the race for people who may not necessarily pick that up as well is the camaraderie, the community. It's a shared experience. So outside of race, you think of fandom, you could be white, red, pink, purple, blue, but I see you with a Ravens jersey. I'm immediately connecting with you. I'm immediately connecting with you.
Yeah.
And so it's that same thing though. It's with race. It's with sex. It's with gender. Because when it's evolutionary. It's if we can see ourselves in another individual, we're going to be able to click more fluently than someone that we can't see ourselves in.
Well said, my bro. I love the Ravens example. I love that, But I mean, you hit the nail right on the head. So I just say all that to say, it is a struggle. I do feel. I'm just speaking from my own experience. I just wish we lived in a world where, I'm gonna be honest, for the first time in my life, when I left, the company or whatever that we met at, what is that? That was earlier this year. So that was almost 6-7 months ago.
I think so.
For the first, I'll take that back. Because the company we were at, that was probably the first company that did let me have my autonomy and let me do me to a certain extent. Now, granted, there were still limitations, of course,
Yeah.
It's a company, you represent the company, so that's understood. But that was probably the first place where I did feel hey, I can actually discuss these things and almost not be targeted and shunned and judged for it. Now, granted, there were a lot of things, just like anywhere, I'm not just isolating up. There were a lot of things that I did notice when it did come to, talking about, race and things like that. I could tell that it was uncomfortable conversations, for some. I could tell, and that's not just there, it's a lot of places. But my whole thing is, if you're uncomfortable talking about race, then that means you need to be talking about it. You need to get comfortable. And the only drawback that I would say about, being black at that company was that when it was time for Black History Month, when it was time for certain events or conversations or presentations, when it was time to speak on color and culture and ethnicity and things like that, it was almost like, okay, let's go ask Jamil and the others. And it's I can talk about this in circles, but it's damn, no, I don't want to talk. I mean, but ultimately I will put my own wants aside just so I can, be there for the greater good. But it was almost okay, let's go to the token black guy. Let's talk to him. And even where, shout out to Nat, shout out to Jamila, when we used to work at, I ain't gonna name companies, but when we were at eating disorder residential spot, as far as clinicians, I was the only black male clinician. Jamila and Nat were the only black women clinicians. The director was white man, but the rest were just women. Outside of there were two other guys, but one was white and one was of Asian descent. But outside of that, like, it was just me, Nat, and Jamila. And then we had, like, in how you said in the milieu, for your experience, like on kind of like that lower non-necessarily clinician area department, there were us black folks in like maintenance, in like the kitchen, you know, and stuff like that, in like the day-to-day operations to keep, you know, the buildings and stuff like that running and stuff like that. And we busted up. We was cool. Like, that's where I found the camaraderie. And they would always tell me, and it was crazy, I had other black dudes who was in the kitchen, like, I was cool with, and even in the other departments, and they would always tell me, hey, brother Jamil, hey, yo, look, you doing your thing, bro. I'm proud of you. Like, and it was like, nah, I'm proud of you though. It was also that camaraderie, but it was also like, I didn't really take it seriously what they were saying until like until I got my I passed my exam, my NCE exam, my national counselor's exam. And then when because they was asking me about it leading up to it, and then when I told them I passed, and they just all like hugged me, like, and it was like, bro, you made it, like, you made it out. And it was like, damn, like, you know, it was damn near like, yo, like, damn, bro, like, yo, I made it. Like, we like, I did it for not only me, but I did it for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's when I really felt like, damn, like, I really felt that community. Then I went on to where we was at, and then I was riding the high of that, and it kind of was boosted, you know, when Nat and Jamila came, but it was also boosted when I got to see, you know, Reg. And then when you came, like, I felt a little bit more supported. But then I was thinking, like, oh, the white folks too, they are open to me speaking on these things. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling, they like, no, go ahead, talk, wear what you want to wear and all this. Just, you know, don't be tacky with it, of course. But oh no, go ahead, there's no issue. And I'm looking like, I don't know. And then I started to kind of test the boundary a little bit. But going back to the conference, man, I would love the on-sites. I'm gonna be honest, I would love the on-site. Hey, listen, if any of y'all, my old co-workers, listening to this, hey, I love y'all. I love seeing y'all and all this. But you know what? I know what I felt like. I felt like a goddamn black celebrity. I felt, bro, it was people who knew me that I didn't even know. And hey, Jamil, hey. It was like I stuck out, bro. And sometimes you want to be unique, but it's also annoying too, because it's like, I don't know if that was your experience, but that's how I felt, bro. Like, but yeah.
See, I think for like, since you like had that experience, like you took away from like all the glam, so I didn't have to. So I appreciate you for that. Yeah. so I appreciate you for.
I'm gonna give you the gloom side, bro. Yeah.
I appreciate you for being the first and taking all of that attention. So when I came through, they're like, it's cool, it's dope. But we've been like, but this is season 3.
Yeah. Red was like, season 1 though. I came in season 2. You were season 3. Yeah. No, that's facts though. That's facts, bro. It's just so funny, man, about like the acceptance and discussion of like race and culture and ethnicity and nationality and just being different in the workplace. Like, I think sometimes it would, at least like, you know, what I've really noticed too is that I'm an optimist. I believe in everybody. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I'm a therapist, right? I do, but I also live in reality.
Mhm.
And I do find that, and I'm not blaming a specific, race or whatever, but I do find, though, in our profession, how we are taught and conditioned, especially coming out of school in our early years as clinicians, we're taught to have this save the world mentality. And
Mhm.
it's like, no, there's always a solution. There's always a
Mhm.
way to solve this issue, this problem. And to a certain extent, I do agree that there is a solution, but it's not always our job to figure it out as clinicians.
Mhm.
And I think that, like, a lot of times we're built to, we have to save you. Now, granted, on a smaller, and I'm speaking more so from a grander
Yeah.
scale, but on a smaller scale, that's how we get burnt out. That's how we don't show up for not only our clients, but also our community outside of the workspace. We don't show up to advocate for mental health and all these things, because those who are looking at us, we're burnt the hell out. And then how we show up in these spaces, we're burnt the hell out. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, when we do show up into the, our sessions and stuff with our clinicians, they're coming to us burnout. We are burnout. You know what I'm saying? Therapists need therapists. We all burn. It's like a never-ending merry-go-round of burnout. And I think, though, it comes to the point where, like, folks are coming to us. Please help me. Figure it out. Save me. Save me. We are taught, and you don't really learn this until you get experience as a clinician, that you can't save everybody. You won't save everybody, because reality is everybody don't want to be saved.
Facts.
Everybody
facts.
don't want it.
Big facts.
So I think that, like, just going back to all of this is like, it's just funny how, like, we come up with this idea in the profession that it's almost like a Disneyland marketing to we have the most analytical and best research, and it has been proven that we can do this. And yes, results, I'm not hating on no research, not hating on results, but everybody can't necessarily be saved in the way that we come up with the solution. We have to be unorthodox. You have to think outside the box. And that is why, as black clinicians, black male clinicians, if you want to put the unicorn title on us, if you look at us as unicorns, then you have to allow us to graze the field and be that unicorn. You have to be able to be led. And that's what I realized too. Like, you gotta allow your clinicians. We got boots on the ground. We know what it is. Not to discredit, your experience and all that, but like, we know what it is. You have to allow us to offer perspective. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, clients, whoever we deal with, you gotta want to be saved, but you gotta want it for yourself. Got to.
Preach.
Hey, listen, brother. You know
Man,
what I'm saying?
you got bars for days, man.
Listen, bro. I have my moments, baby. You know what I'm saying? I have my moments. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Like and subscribe, though.
Hey, well said. But I think that, like, that's like a great, like, ending point, and something that we could bring up maybe next episode or a future episode is burnout, because I think everyone experienced that no matter what profession you're in, and it's real.
No, it is. It is.
Yeah, but I just want to say, like, I appreciate everyone who's new that tuned in, and people who tuned in at previous episode and tuning in this episode. Thanks to you again. And, like, we out here, we, like, without y'all, like, we just talking to each other, which ain't nothing wrong with that. We can do we can do this all day, but we just want everyone to, like, hear perspectives, and then thank y'all. That's
all it is, brother. Thank you. That's all I can say. Thank you to everybody. Shout out, you know what? Shout out. I'm gonna get a little spiritual and religious on this. Shout out to God for putting us in a position to go through these experiences and journey, not just for us, but also, you know, those out there who are listening, watching, whatever it may be. But without God, man, we wouldn't even know what the hell mental health is. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So
would not be here to talk. Would not be here to have these conversations.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't be here to enjoy these Ravens when we get to enjoy them.
That is facts, my brother, man. But hey, it's all love, all peace and love, man. You know, I wish y'all well, be safe, and you know, till next time, baby. Get to see my face. Oh, I'm sorry, our faces. My bad.
All right, we out.
All right, bro. I'll let me.
Later.